Hey everybody, I hope everyone is doing well today. There are a couple of things I would like to talk about. So keep in mind, I know Blackboard is having some issues, but I will show you all how to log in if you're having that issue. And keep in mind, Blackboard is not working through the mobile app right now, so you will need a laptop or a computer to access Blackboard. So if you go into My JCC for current students, and you go into Blackboard, now, what you have to do is click on this login button to get to Blackboard currently because we are having some technology issues with the Blackboard server. So all you do is go into this little sign in button here, and then it will take you to your JCC login. So then you have to log in with your JCC username and password. And then it should take you right into Blackboard. So we have a lot to do today, so I'm going to get right into it and look at our course schedule. So today is Wednesday, October 7th. Now, I would like to do a mini review of what I covered on Monday, just because I know some people missed class for whatever reason on Monday. So keep in mind that the RA drafts were due on Monday, and we did an in-class peer review workshop. And the reading response number 6 is due on our discussion board, and that is due by midnight on Wednesday. And I also assigned a lesson on sentence structure, so I will go over those materials from Monday just briefly. So for our discussion boards, I have it under discussion boards and the reading response number 6. And that is due on Wednesday, October 7th, tonight by midnight. And you can also find the link to the peer review workshop right here. If you go right here and open link, it will take you to the peer review workshop lesson that we did on Monday. And the other thing that I assigned was the lesson on sentence structure, and you can actually find that under readings on our Blackboard page and the sentence structure lesson. And the reason I assign these is because I noticed a lot in the DCA papers that some people really struggled with fragments and run-on sentences or comma splices. So I assigned these two little handouts in terms of what run-on sentences are, what sentence fragments are, just because I really would like students to start breaking that habit in terms of sentence structure because it can really become a problem in Comp 2. So this article tells you what run-on sentences are, how to fix them, how to find them. And this is the same with comma splices, it's very similar. And also tells you how to use commas, but the comma slice section is really what I'm interested in terms of this particular handout. So definitely take a look at those if you missed class on Monday for whatever reason. So anyway, that is just a brief overview of what we did on Monday. So I am going to move on to the stuff for today because we have a lot to do. So 6-week grades are due and should be available through Banner tonight or by tomorrow for students. I did submit all 6-week grades for my courses. If you have any questions about those, you can make an appointment during my office hours on Friday. Or just stop in during office hours if you have questions about grades. Now please note that the essay number 2 or the rhetorical analysis final draft will be due on Blackboard by midnight tonight through Dropbox. And I will show you all briefly how to do that. So if you want to turn in the final draft of the RA, all you do is go into Dropboxes on our Blackboard page, and you have to click on the RA final draft Dropbox. So if you have a Google document link, a PDF, or a Word document, either one of those is perfectly acceptable. It's the same as the first paper. It's the same process that we'll be using every time for each paper. And keep in mind that it is every student's sole responsibility to ensure their own file is readable. So if you have a Google document link, all you're going to do is click on Write Submission, and you can include your Google document link right there. Now, if you have a Word file or a PDF, what you're going to have to do is go into Browse My Computer, choose a file, and make sure it's uploaded. And then once it's uploaded, what you have to do is go to I agree to the Submit My Papers to the Global Reference Database. You have to make sure to checkmark that, otherwise it will not upload. And if you have any additional comments for me or things I need to know, feel free to type those in. And then what you're going to do from there is hit Submit. And it should upload for you. And you will also get an email about whether the file was successfully uploaded or not, typically. So please make sure those are in by midnight tonight, please. And keep in mind that the RA is worth 15% of your final grade. So anyway, moving on for today, I would like to cover stuff for the digital portfolio. And that is basically what we're doing today. Now, please note that next Monday, on Monday, October 12th, that is a holiday. We do not have classes on next Monday, October 12th. And then next Wednesday, we have to follow a Monday schedule. So that means next Wednesday, we will have class on Zoom. So we will not have class on Monday next week. And we will not have a Zoom session on Monday because there are no classes. Therefore, our next Zoom session will be next Wednesday, October 14th. So I just wanted to point that out. But anyway, if you have any questions about that, you can drop me an email, of course. But anyway, moving on, I would like to talk about digital portfolios. And I have a lesson set up on that. So if you want to open these links, but I will also show you where you can locate them on the Blackboard page if you prefer to find it that way. So I have this new section that I added into our Blackboard page called Digital Portfolio Materials. And these are all the lessons that I have for how to create a Google website and also about digital portfolios. So this is the one that I made for today that I will be going through called the Online Workshop for Digital Portfolios. And I also made this digital portfolio checklist. And I feel like I should go through the checklist first. So this is all the stuff that needs to be on your Google website page before the end of the course. So keep in mind, we don't really have a formal final exam for Comp 1. So the final exam really is turning in your digital portfolio. That will serve as your exam for the course. So you have to make sure you have these listed items here. So for the DCA, you should have the DCA reflection letter, the final draft, the rough draft of the DCA, the peer review comments, and the pre-writing or invention of the DCA if you have any of that. And you can also take pictures if you write down. I know some students mentioned they write down their pre-writing or invention for the DCA. You can also take pictures with your cell phone of that and include it on your Google website page to include it for the invention. But it's really important to have all of these items. If you do not have all of these items, that means points off when I go to sit down and grade your final portfolios. So I do want to at least stress the importance of this. Again, your digital portfolio is your final exam for the course. So if you don't pass the digital portfolio, you don't pass the course. So that's why I'm starting to talk about it now since we have a few weeks left. Anyway, for the rhetorical analysis, you have the final reflection RA letter, the final draft, the rough draft, the peer review comments, the pre-writing and invention, and also the annotated article, which could be pictures of your notes or pictures of your digital annotations. And it's okay if you want to use screenshots of, I know some students submitted their annotations through Hypothesis. You can take digital screenshots of those and submit it, excuse me, along with your portfolio, and that will be fine. And it's the same for the CTA, which is our third paper that will be coming up after fall break. So what you need is the final reflection for the CTA letter, the final draft of the CTA, the rough draft of the CTA, the peer review comments, the pre-writing and invention, and the annotated article. And the final reflection letter is something we all do together on the second last day of class, and that will be part of your Google website as well. And you can find further instructions here. So you can use the checklist to mark off items as you organize them on your website. If you need to see how to design a digital portfolio or your website, you can look at the Norton Field Guide, chapters 9, 57, and 58. And those chapters talks about digital design, so I do highly recommend looking at that. Now for final revisions, you want to make sure the assignment requirements are met. MLA format is followed with titles and citations. Major elements including thesis and topic sentences are clearly present and precise, and that grammar and punctuation is proofread before submitting those final revisions. So that's why I've been stressing lately about the importance of proofreading. Now the cover letter will be the final reflection letter. That is something we will do together. So anyway, that is the digital portfolio checklist, which again you can find under the digital portfolio materials and find it right there. So anyway, I'm going to move on to the online workshop for digital portfolios. So you're designing your site. So remember, writing is a process that involves at least 4 distinct steps: pre-writing or invention, drafting, revising, and editing. It is known as a recursive process, and your job is to capture those processes through your Google website. So you can use design to show your processes, make a single page or several, use it for your general education at JCC. And you want to consider your audience and purpose, and that's what those chapters in the Norton Field Guide also talk about. You can take pictures of things that may be handwritten and include those. And you want to make sure everything is in it and clearly found and organized. So what you should do is watch this video if you have not already. This video is about 15 minutes long and it shows you how to create a Google website. And this section here is also an article on how to get started with creating a Google website. Now, these are links from previous lessons to take a look at as well. So this is help with Google websites and the digital portfolio process, how to create a Google website part 2. And this is the LinkedIn Learning course that I also included on our Blackboard page with Google websites. And it shows videos of how to make a Google website and also layouts and that kind of thing. And then this lesson we did a while ago of how to upload files to your Google website page. So you're welcome to access those links. Now these are previous student portfolio examples. So these are previous websites of students that submitted their websites. So I will show you all. So this is examples of what your website might look like, how to maybe organize it. So here's one of the websites here. And I thought they did a great job in terms of layout. And what they did was they created pages for the diagnostic essay and the DCA and the RA. Now this is very nice because what they did, they included the first draft and the final draft of the DCA and also the reflection letter. So this is honestly very nice. And they also used it for Comp 2. And this is another Google website that someone submitted. So they have the discourse community analysis here. They also have the third paper here. And she also included some videos, which I thought was kind of nice and kind of cool and different. Now, this is very nice because it's easy for me to find everything. As long as everything is organized in a logical manner, I'm generally fine, but as long as I can find everything, then it's usually fine. So this is their reflection letter, and they also have the draft and the final. And they also have the third paper here. And they also have their sources here, which is kind of cool for the third paper. I thought she did a great job with how she organized things, and I kind of really like her website. I like all the websites, don't get me wrong. I really like all of these examples because they're very well organized. And this is a very popular layout I've noticed. So he has the discourse community essay up here. He has the rough draft and the final. And he also has this CTA right here, which is the third paper. And he also has the second paper here as well. So those are examples to be looking at. Anyway, so here's the digital portfolio checklist. Here is the checklist that you should go through. And it might even be useful to print out the checklist and go through it one by one through the items as you can complete them and organize them on your Google website page. Anyway, that is it for the online workshop for digital portfolios today. And I do have the link on the lesson here, so if you need to access the lesson, you can go into our schedule here and click on the lesson and it will pop up for you. And I also did assign a video on how to create a Google website, and that is the video from the workshop. It's the exact same video. And it will take you to that YouTube link. So anyway, that is it for today. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or stop in during office hours on Friday. I have office hours on Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. And please keep in mind that the essay number 2, the RA final draft, again, is due tonight on Blackboard by midnight. Thank you all so much, and I hope you have a great day.